Hello.
We-
With any luck,
Greetings.
this all works, and we're here. Hello, everyone. I'm assuming they can all hear me. So, hello and welcome to the Relay Station, the first station, the last station, the most stationy station to ever be stationed on a stationary station. This is the first station of 2017, so station your butts on your butt stations, station your hands on your hand stations, and station your minds to extreme. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Today we've got Shiver, who frequently bathes as Shivers. What?
Station!
We've got Nakara, a master of caring for necks. Nakara, care for. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We've got me.
Just not gonna say anything.
But most importantly, we've got Mici from Foundry 42 UK, who works on. Well, why don't you tell us that portion? What do you do?
Me, I work for QA on Star Citizen and occasionally Squadron 42.
What? That's not a thing, is it?
Have you played the other 41?
No, I haven't, I'm afraid.
But I thought it was cancelled and was never coming out.
Sounds about right.
Still alive and well.
Excellent. So how do you enjoy QA?
It's pretty good. I mean, just play games. I mean, there's a bit more to it than that. But
I do that every day. Why don't I get paid?
No, it's pretty
'Cause you're
good.
bad
I
at
enjoy.
games.
I get to do a lot of the community stuff, which is fun. And also, I'm a specialist, so I get to work with character art. So all the fun things.
So do you do character art or just QA character? Like, how does that?
I just QA character art. I just sort of we sort of have specialists to bridge the gap between development and QA, so we know what's going in, what needs testing, just like back and forth communication. So I can see all the shiny things before they go in the game.
I have to ask, how do you QA character art? What?
Thank you for
You just
asking
check that characters look like people. It doesn't sound that difficult, but like it's kind of, I know, it's like lots of different things, like structure and namings of stuff and just making sure everything's in the right place, basically. It's like a
that
filing
looks like
system.
a person. That looks like a person. That looks like Shiver Bathory. Throw it back.
Hello!
It's actually like, it sounds like there's not a lot to it, but it does concern other departments as well, because it'll be like one aspect will be the character art, and then there'll be like, how does lighting affect the character art, or how does this environment affect the character? And it's just sort of like, yeah, just checking everything works with everything. But if it's specific to that character just being broken, then that's my fault. Well, it's not my fault, but I'm the one that flags it and gets on everyone's nerves. Like, this is broken.
We saw on Sandy's Twitter in the past week they're starting to test out clothing clipping, which is, yes, that's first of all, that's absolutely insane. Good luck with that. But is that something that comes into your realm of QA?
Yes. That'll go once that. Yeah, that'll be my job. That'll be great. But yeah, once that's done with the developers, it'll come. I'll probably get like an email saying, "We've done all these things. Can you check that they actually work?" So.
And that's
it'll go from
that's at the
what's
stage
seen
where it's
on the Twitter page to like being implemented, and then I will get it. I don't usually do stuff in between, like like in editor and then like I don't have the sort of in-betweeny bit. It's usually once they're fully confident it's ready, then I check that it is everything they dreamed of.
So do you get to see the horribly broken everything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What's the most
gives me nightmares.
What's the most broken thing that you've seen that you can tell us about?
I could tell you the funniest thing. The funniest thing is when for no reason whatsoever, people's clothes go missing.
Really?
It's just like, there's no explanation for this. It's clues are missing.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Star nudist citizen.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
But that's
I
the
guess
best
we
thing.
want it to be realistic, right? So there's got to be.
Let's be clear. The only
thought I'm
reason
not
I'm wearing
saying
clothing
anything.
is because I have to when I'm on stream, according to Twitch, apparently. God.
It's
So,
probably a
what-
conspiracy to show off those 4K genitals.
Yeah, Michi's on Terra, right? Of course.
But yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh
man.
God. Where are we? No, I closed the wrong thing. 1 second.
We're in
Buttons.
the introduction still.
Professional.
We are still in the introduction actually, but I've got tabs and I closed the wrong one. Okay. So, you work in the UK. When did you start?
Yes. I started in last April. So I'm fairly new.
Okay. How do you I visited the Manchester office at the last, like when they were there for CitizenCon. Has it changed? Like what does it look now? Is it still like how's the office? Let's just how do you like the office?
I wouldn't have been there the same time as you, so I couldn't tell you a
I know.
comparison.
Has it got doors?
It's got, yeah, it probably looks pretty much the same.
Do they still have the bars in the window that are electrified if you try and look outside of them?
We don't have those. But
They were there when
Yeah.
I went.
That's a
tend to,
joke,
like-
by the way.
they tend to like mix up where departments are in terms of, the sort of I imagine every studio does, like in terms of what we're focused on, like which departments need to be closer together, so they sort of move. I don't think in terms of the structure it's any different, but it's just like they move people about.
Department-wise, say with the recent 2.6 thing, I would imagine that there would be, as well as the regular QA staff such as yourself, there would be volunteers, because QA is, like you say, essentially play the living daylights out of this, find everything that's wrong with it, tell us about it. So I would imagine that sort of shift around, like you could have anyone from anywhere do QA at some point.
No, actually, because we obviously we have QA in the UK, we have them in Germany and LA and Austin. So, I mean, occasionally, like when we're doing like big stress tests, we might get a few extra people on board. But usually it's just QA do QA. So yeah, we don't really.
You lot,
I
you
mean,
lot must
and
work
then
very hard.
we do. We work some long hours, especially run up to getting to live.
Actually,
as
yeah.
well, it's a big help that we've got Evacati in that
Yeah.
as well.
Did you like how much work did you do on the 2.6 that went live early or late, at the end of last year?
Well, we did. Me specifically.
Yes, you. Did you do much on that?
Yeah, we did. We had everyone. We wanted to get it out as soon as, really. So wanted it out before Christmas. So everybody, it was all hands on deck.
Right.
Let's get this sorted. So,
well, I want to say we do greatly appreciate that it did get out because, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It was nice to have something.
I have played hours and hours a day of Star Marine, and I don't find it never gets boring. I really, really enjoy Star Marine.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it as well. I've played a ton of Star Marine over the holidays,
So
and I'm still terrible.
I need to make a statement here because Zeus and Oxia is asking if I still expect 3.0 by the end of 2016, and quite frankly, 3.0 the basics of 3.0 have actually been out since sometime in 2.0. So really, For any of you
What
that
is the question?
the question is because I expected 3.0 by the end of 2016, way back in 2016. That had been my prediction. But back in like 2014, I had predicted Star Marine would come out, and it got delayed until 2016. But the entire way through, everyone's like, "Where's Star Marine?" And I was like, "Well, technically there's gunplay in 2.0, so technically Star Marine has been out since 2.0." Anyway, I'm just.
He's our dreamer.
Yes.
I think I always say this when people say, they felt like something should have been out a while ago, but we are a very ambitious company and we want it to be the best that it is. And I think just waiting that little bit longer till it's like just polish that little bit more, I think is just totally worth it.
That's certainly one of the big things about the game is we're all here because we're willing to wait for that extra bit because it is worth it.
I backed.
I know it's everybody has an impatient part of themselves. I know how much of a struggle it is to. It's annoying, like testing it and being like, I just wish this would work so that we could get it to all of the backers and everyone so that they can play it.
For me,
it's so frustrating
it's more...
when it's just nailing down a bug that like we can't let this go until this bug is fixed. It's just we'd love to.
Astropub is here. Hey, Astropub.
But it's frustrating on our end as much as it is to the backers, like because we want it to work as smoothly as possible, and everyone. It's not like, we never have, sort of a what's the word? It's never like we're not 100% trying to get all these fixes done all the time. Like it's just always. Let's hammer this until it's perfect, and it's it's frustrating for us as well.
Even me, as hopeful as I always am, I'm always hoping for everything in the least amount of time. I try to be as hopeful as I can.
Yeah.
But that's not a knock on you guys. It's not like I understand the amount of work that goes into this, and I understand that. I mean, I do want you to take the time. The 2.0 launch was bad. Last year, 2.0 launch was bad. This year, 2.6 has worked great. Like the amount of work that went into this is amazing, and I'm glad that you guys spent the time to get it right. So,
it still doesn't make that impatient part of you any less impatient.
I know.
I'm not impatient, actually. I'm not impatient. I get angry at the people who say it's never coming out and have to. Sorry,
David. I mean you. I meant myself.
Oh, you. Yeah, fine. Yeah, you're impatient.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I think the difference is the company is still building. It's there's a lot of people as well. It's a lot of we have a lot of very, very talented people from different backgrounds in the company. And obviously when you've got a name for yourself, there is a certain amount of pride. You don't want something to go out there with your name on that's utter shambles. You want it to be, and I think everybody in the company feels that way. Chris especially, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, especially because, I mean, so you work for CIG now. Did you do QA and game stuff before that, or?
Yes.
Where did you where did you work before, if that's okay, if I ask?
I was at TT Fusion, which do the Lego games.
Okay. How different is it? Like, would you ever do something like this back there?
No. Well, in terms of obviously, different companies have different sort of ways that they work. Like the Lego franchise is something where it does have very quick releases. Like we get a new Lego game, I want to say, I mean, less than every year. I'd say they release a new one. I mean, they do have 2 studios, development studios, so but they only have one QA department. So I felt like it was nice because it was refreshing because I'd get to work on something different every couple of months because there was so many titles. So in that sort of sense, it was good, but I kind of like being focused on one thing, which is why working on like Star Citizen for a long amount of time I find more enjoyable. It's more of a genre I like of games as well, rather than, because obviously Lego games are designed for a different audience. So
it's a very different tech going on as well. I mean, Star Citizen is very much bleeding edge tech, and Lego didn't have to push the boundaries really in any way.
Yeah, well, with Lego, they just have what do you call it? Like consumer testers.
Okay.
Basically, like because the testing I do now is a little bit more internal, like in terms of like game code and stuff like that. Whereas consumer testing is literally you're playing it to make sure the consumer has the same experience, if that makes sense. Whereas, I mean, I do the same for Star Citizen, but it's a little bit more technical in terms of like getting in there and sort of, testing some things.
I have a question in just a second. I do want to say congrats to the Astropub for getting partnered by Twitch. The Astropub is in here now. Great job.
Huge thank you.
Congratulations.
Huge
congratulations, actually.
Astropub is awesome. We love the Astropub. If you are not followed or subscribed or whatever it is on Twitch that you do to him, go do it. I clearly know how Twitch works. I am an expert. Don't judge me.
Okay.
I do want to ask though, considering how many, Aaron.
Hold on, I've done a thing. Wait.
What have you done?
Uh-oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Something started playing on my computer. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? Okay, sorry, I'm listening.
Considering, Aaron came from making the Lego games, and I assume lots of people have come over from making. Will there ever be a Lego Star Citizen?
I think I have seen a fan made one, like online. I think I have.
There was the fan made Lego Hornet that didn't get done.
I saw the Cartoal.
Yeah. There have been a
online.
bunch. I think there was a Lego Reclaimer as well. But do you think they'll ever do a Lego Star Citizen game like they do the Lego Star Wars games? Anyone? No? Just me?
No. How do you make it? How do you make a video game out of a video game?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That would be cool though if you could actually build them and stuff.
Yeah. Build your own ships. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay.
Wow.
Leave me alone. I can dream, can't I?
No.
So, The Office, Manchester. Have you guys gone back to work after the holidays?
Yes.
How's everyone feeling in the office after the holidays?
Pretty good, I think. It was a relief to get 2.6 on live, I think. But it is all it was just bang up. This is the plan for this year. Let's go. So everyone's pretty much, all go again.
So we got a brief look at the plan for this year, I guess, for what Chris said.
Really? Because I couldn't tell you what the plan was.
No, but there was a newsletter.
Make spaceships fly now.
Yeah.
In the newsletter, it was said Squadron 42 and 3.0 were essentially the plan for this year, which...
Oh yeah, that was probably... I mean, what else would it be?
I don't know.
You could be making a remake of...
I was thinking
remake Wing Commander. Remake all of the Wing Commander games in Star Citizen.
Well, you have an
Instead,
FPS.
remake
just,
them.
Yeah,
scrap
just
it
scrap
out.
Star Citizen, remake Wing Commander with the engine. Done.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
I'll
all
go
for
talk
this.
to
This
her.
is good.
you guys
Please
are thinking
do
way,
this.
You guys are thinking way too associated. I'm thinking you got an FPS now. Just remake Duke Nukem properly. Anyway,
You could do a first-person water slide experience. Flume.
That would be pretty good. I don't know how that would work.
You just get on a water slide and go down it without
Shooting down-
getting wet. Because who likes getting wet, honestly?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Moving on.
So,
Sorry, I have a fear of swimming. Seriously, I've almost drowned 3 times.
what are you gonna do if you have to?
Sorry, we didn't mean to bring it up. Wait, you brought it up. Oh, no.
I did.
You did.
Stop swimming with concrete blocks, for God's sake.
I'm just a really bad
How can
swimmer.
you sink? Look at the size of you. You cannot sink. That goes against the laws of physics.
What?
You could be used as a flotation device in the event of the plane crashing into the sea by 9 people.
What?
You're
I'm really
You
confused.
float. How can you have trouble swimming?
Drownable. I don't think that's an option.
I don't
You
swim.
seem like a very porous person.
I'm porous?
Or
Okay. Let's get back to... Oh, God.
I
What are
thought
we talking
anatomy was
about?
different.
One of the things I wanted to talk about today, since this is our first show back in the new year, was what we're all kind of hopeful for in 2017. This doesn't really count for you, Mickey, because, I mean, yeah.
Well, you could pretend you don't know
pretend
anything
you don't know
whatsoever.
anything. What are you hopeful for this year?
Well, in Star Citizen.
Yeah. Or in general gaming. I mean, go nuts.
Well, honestly, I don't. I don't know the schedule for this year, but I think as a player, I said how much I was enjoying Star Marine. It'd be nice for some more game modes, more maps, that sort of thing. Because I think it's really fun. I really like it. And yeah, basically a lot of the PU stuff that was shown at Gamescom and CitizenCon. It'd be nice to play all that. Not that I
Yes.
haven't already.
What?
But, no, I mean like for the stuff that we showed.
Oh, did you get to play through all of the stuff that was shown?
I did, yes.
How-
we test it, don't we?
Yeah, but that's one thing. We get to see it, right? And it looks really good. Like you played through the like the whole
There
sand.
was, well,
Yeah.
Gamescom was the planetary landing
Yeah.
in what's that place called?
Delamar?
Delamar. So we showed that at Gamescom, and then CitizenCon was Homestead, I think.
Yes. Like, did you
Yeah.
get to play through all of the Homestead? How does it feel? Because we get to watch it. Like, we see it. How did the driving on the planets? Like, how does it?
I can't remember if I mentioned this. I remember talking about it briefly in ATV and not sort of giving it the sort of feel like it's hard to describe, but like the way that the like on land vehicles drive around feels really realistic, like really smooth. Like when you're driving the rover, it bounces like you'd imagine it to. Like it's got suspension. It's so nice. It's so nice. And
On
I'm
the
not
Homestead
I'm not
demo.
like a driving sort of person. Like I'm not into like I don't really play many driving games and stuff like that. But the way that they drive around on the planet is so nice. And the dragonfly is a lot of fun. Like to drive around. So good.
Can it go over water?
It's supposed to be able to.
I
It
just
looks like it's
Probably-
got the power.
I just know
Well, we
in the,
didn't have any water in the demo. Oh wait,
there was a little
There
tiny
was-
pond or something, right?
There was a pond.
yeah, I didn't try it. I'm afraid.
Was that the one with a courthouse with a non-working clock tower near it that got struck by lightning?
What?
I'm trying to think what that's a reference to.
No
That's a
idea
reference
what
to
you're
Back to
talking
the
about.
Future?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Because you said it didn't have enough power, and hoverboards don't work on water unless you got power.
Okay.
You're
As
fired.
far as I know, if anyone out there's actually wondering the answer to this question, as far as I know, they've said that it works on water.
Yeah, well, I think it will. I just didn't try it.
Mm-hmm. I just I can't wait for there's one concept image out there of this world that has like constant tidal waves going across it. And I can't wait to like be flying across the surface of that planet, and all of a sudden you're like, oh look, giant towering wave.
Drive on a race it in your dragonfly. Try and beat the wave.
That's right.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
fun.
How
Okay.
high do you think they'll let you go when you're actually on the dragonfly, though? Because technically, there's
How
no
high?
reason to just because you could cruise at any height from a technical standpoint. It's just whether or not there will be a gameplay restriction that's probably got to be decided at some point. Whether or not, if you're in the ground mode, you will have to stick like 2 feet off the ground sort of thing, or if they'll just completely let you go at 30,000 feet on your dragonfly and then just flip off into the atmosphere, which
Would be amazing.
Well, at the moment, it seems to have 2 levels. It has like a sort of very low hover above the ground, and then it kind of has one that's slightly higher. I think that's to sort of I think it's to reduce the amount of like bumpiness on sand dunes. So it's sort of like you can like sort of fly over the top of them rather than because like they're meant for like racing, I assume eventually.
Yeah.
So like it's just so that it's a bit nippier and you're not like constantly bumping over the sand dunes. So it seems to have like 2 sort of heights at the moment that it runs at.
So whether it's Star Citizen or not, what are you most excited for this year in 2017?
Out of everything.
Out of everything.
I've not really thought about it. I'm sort of a like live every day as it comes up.
We can come back to you after I do the other two.
Yeah, let me have a think.
Think about it. Shiver. You are specifically restricted to Star Citizen. What are you most excited for 2017? Most hopeful for Star Citizen 2017?
Carrack.
Okay.
Simple as that. I want to see the Carrack. It's you know me. I'm a size queen with ships. The biggest ship. I want to see it. I
So-
think the Carrack's the biggest ship this year. Isn't it?
Reclaimer.
Or is that this year? I thought that
Reclaimer's
was
3.2.
Oh, Jesus!
Yes,
Yes.
3.2.
Well, I want to see the
Reclaimer.
Reclaimer then.
There we go.
And the Carrack. But
There-
the Carrack looks nicer.
What? You're a madman.
It's got massive guns on it.
The Reclaimer has
Like
a
guns.
massive arm that will rip a Carrack apart.
I could shoot the gun, the claw off.
Now you see what I have to deal with here, Mickey.
And you can't do a decent
It's
Dr.
funny
Claw
'cause-
impression either.
On my screen, you're in between them two.
The claw.
So you're gonna ask me or not, David?
I am. Nakara, go.
Farming.
Farming? You think we'll get it this year?
No. I've become a pessimist recently. No, I would like to see it, and I think it's the most of all of the things that they planned out for 2017 in CitizenCon. It's one of those things that was sort of like, huh, all right, farming's coming next year.
Yeah.
Not something I think a lot of us expected to see in an early build of Star Citizen. I understand why it's coming, but still,
It'll be nice to see.
play with it. Yeah.
Squadron
farming.
42.
Just 3.3 for those who are wondering.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Squadron 42. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That
You said Star Citizen, though.
You know what? I'm actually excited about that.
Squadron
For
42?
For reasons. Yeah.
So you're.
There you go. No, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it, basically.
So we have a comment from.
I'm not going to
our
ask
chat.
anything about it.
No, you can't. You can't.
I
ask,
can't.
So.
Um,
Do I have
can I
to play
explain?
the other 41?
Can I explain
comment
why
from
I'm
chat.
excited for it,
Okay, yeah.
or do you want to ask your question, Eric?
I want to mention the comment from our chat.
Okay, where is it? Sorry.
I said that I was most excited about farming,
Yeah.
and Arvidian says, "I want my space weed." So there's that. Anyway, go ahead, Dan.
See, the problem there with my problem there is both farming and space weed to me mean Endeavor, and the Endeavor is probably not this year. 'Cause
No, probably
it's not in that three point whatever list. I want Squadron 42.
I don't think it necessarily has to do with farming, though. I think that the Endeavor is later because it has a million different things it has to do.
Yes. Yeah. No, I want Squadron. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to play through the entirety of Squadron. The last time I played through the entirety of a single-player game was maybe Portal 2. I don't finish games.
I'll force you to.
I don't. But
I'll tell a certain somebody to duct tape you to your chair.
she won't.
Yeah, sure you should.
Oh, I'm getting messages from the certain someone, actually.
You will play that game, or you will die.
No, for me, Squadron 42 is the most important thing, because one, it was supposed to come out last year. We were told way back that it was going to come out last year. It didn't. That's fine. I want it to be right and the best it can be when it comes out. I'm hopeful for this year, though, and I think.
You're not looking at me.
I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at you.
Me.
Nope.
What's she giving away?
No, and I know you're here, which makes this kind of awkward to say, but I think the company needs to prove that they can ship something.
I'm nodding because I understand what you're saying. I'm not agreeing.
No, that's fine.
It was just my nod of agreement.
Yeah.
Not agreement.
Not of understanding.
This is my neutral nod.
Neutral nod. No, I think we need Squadron 42. But
I acknowledge your existence on this planet, Eris.
there's a year, we'll see. Keep in mind, my guesses for the past 2 years have been Star Marine and 3.0. Neither of those have come true. I clearly don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna...
Hey, you got Star Marine.
A year after I said we'd get it.
Without like going too far into it, I think the reasons I'm excited for Squadron 42 is that I'm a big fan of single player games. Like I like story driven stuff, and just the cast that we've got that are involved is really exciting. I want to just tell everyone about it, but I can't. But it's super exciting.
That's good. I mean, one of the things I am interested in is most of the games that I play, like, I guess Uncharted is actually the most story-driven game that I can really think of. Like, you've got Nolan North and all these people that are really good at what they do, right? But video games don't use real actors, you know?
The ones that do, I find very fascinating. Like I've just finished Until Dawn again, and then watching like interviews with the actors that were used in that is really fascinating. Like how they nail their like motion capture stuff, because as much as like motion capture sounds like it's sort of like done for you, like there's so much work that goes into animating after motion capture.
Yeah.
And get them like spot on to like really like just be that person in the game. It's really amazing to watch.
That's what I am genuinely excited to see. That.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Mark Hamill, Gary Oldman. Like,
yeah,
yes.
It's exciting. Like, get to see him.
Noxil asks, so I'm saying that
So-
voice actors
I've
aren't
now-
real actors. That is not what I'm saying.
No.
Voice actors are real actors. It's just normally games use voice actors. They don't use like
Performance
Hollywood
capture.
renowned like A-list people.
Well, not only that,
There's
but you're
usually a
actually in
pool, isn't
in Star Citizen or in Squadron 42, they're actually capturing their performance, not
Yeah.
just their voice.
Yeah.
So it actually is more like they're acting in the game than just voicing a character in the game. If you know what I mean.
It's
Yeah.
A little different.
it's kind of like what they did with the Wing Commander 3 onwards, where they had I can't remember what they abbreviated to, but captured action sequences, real life action sequences that played as a movie in the game. This is like the next generation of that, using the performance shoots in the game engine with the game's assets.
I mean, what was the first game that really did that was LA Noire, right?
Mm.
No.
Wasn't it?
Well,
The
that was the
first
one that
game?
was it was recognized for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been the first, I don't imagine.
Maybe not the first, but like that
Mortal-
was the one that pushed it the most, saying like we used like real actors in everything, and yeah,
I'm still sticking with Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
I think there were ones before there in the arcade.
Actually,
What? They genuinely,
Prince of Persia.
that was the
Well-
actors in the game.
Prince of Persia
Motion
might be the
capture.
first.
Yeah, they used
Prince of Persia?
They used a lot of body motion capture for quite a while. It was only facial motion capture that got quite recognized in LA Noire because they were like, we've literally mapped every single muscle of this
Yeah.
person's face.
Did you know that
Yeah.
for Prince of Persia, the guy that made it dressed his brother in a bathrobe and had him run and jump, and then rotoscoped the entire thing? So it's literally his brother doing all of the movements in the original Prince of Persia, all the landings and everything.
That's pretty good.
It is.
It's pretty good.
Random fact of the day. Now you know.
Now everyone knows.
So, we do have a
Everything's
question
on the
document. Oh, what? Google, go away. We have a question document. Mickey, we are now transitioning to the second half of the show where we let the random people in the audience ask us questions.
It's rather terrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. You can... exclamation mark question now works again. So go to that form, ask us a question, and we'll start answering these questions. Actually, wait. While we're doing that, I'm actually going to switch here to something, because the first question is, what do you think of the Cutlass rework? So let's look at that Cutlass rework. We got it. We got an image this week of the Cutlass rework, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
What do you think of it?
It's fat and sassy.
He's not wrong.
It's true.
It's
No, they've basically redone the entire ship. Everything's bigger, a lot more sturdy, and I don't know. I think the cockpit rework is pretty cool too. It looks a lot more not cramped. Is a good way to put it.
it almost looks angrier to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but to me it looks angry. Let's move on to the next question though. I can skip that one. I can skip that one.
Please do skip that one.
I'm skipping those. Yeah.
And that one.
I can't see these.
Yeah. You
Thanks,
can't. I'm
Nitro.
I
sorry.
want to.
You don't want
No.
to see them.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, it's just, would you rather have 6 stomachs or 6 nipples?
No, don't. Oh my god.
Are you happy, Shiver?
Can I have neither?
No, I'm not at all.
Yeah, I'm taking neither.
Thanks, Nitro.
So,
I was going to ask a bizarre question that time.
You were going to ask a bizarre question.
Well, I was going to say if you had 6 stomachs, that means you could eat 6 times as much things.
I could have
Because that would be
pizza-
pretty good.
That would be
It
amazing.
depends on how it would work, though, wouldn't it? Because if it works like a cow, that means you've got to eat the same thing at least
Oh.
5 other times, and that's not pleasant.
What if they're all external and I can like put pizza in that stomach and vegetables in that stomach?
The important thing that you're forgetting, right, is what goes in must come out.
But their stomachs.
That's
So I
another.
can,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when
And
you're
think
when you're
about
doing
politicians.
QA work, when you're doing QA work on say a character and like a hand is missing in first person, as QA, are you also tasked with finding where the game went wrong, or just passing it back to the programmers and saying, "Hey, the character is broken"?
I usually contact. Well, I don't look into why it's unless it's something I know about. But like missing limbs is something that I am like not trained to fix. So it just gets passed. It will either get passed to the art production, or it will get straight to development to try and figure out where it went.
It's very similar to how any other person would submit a bug report to Star Citizen. You know, you would make up a ticket, report the issues, say what you're going on, and it would just be very similar process.
Yeah, pretty much. There are more extensive tests that I could do, but if it's something minor, if it's something that's really like it needs full investigation, but then there's other things I can do, but yeah.
Basically, the short version is you're not expected to make multi-core awareness on the engine, but if something was like that's like one coordinate off, I might be able to fix that in a grid location setting. That's more your cup of tea.
It's more that my training is sort of ongoing, so I just get taught stuff when it needs to be
Done.
sort of done. Yeah, but stuff like that is. I mean, I don't want to touch anything. Imagine if, like, you know, I just went in the game and completely broke it. Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't want
Yeah.
that responsibility.
Good
but
point.
maybe I've only been there 9 months.
Yeah.
I don't think they want me to have that
Break
responsibility
things?
just yet. Yeah.
So
So
do you ever see bits of the code going up and you're like, nah.
Oh god. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's another one. Is it ever frustrating not being able to share something that you know is coming, or a fix that you know is coming, or
Yes.
okay.
Very much so. Yeah. It's like, well, I think with any, if you love your job, you want to tell everyone about it. And unfortunately, I was assigned something to say that I can't. So it just boils up inside me.
Here is a question though. From that state, do you love your job?
Yes, very much.
Good.
Awesome.
Love it.
That's
I love everything about it. I love what I do every day. I love the people I work with, and I love seeing people excited about the stuff that I'm working on. So good.
Except who? There's got to be somebody you're like, I hate that guy. Oh.
shiver.
Well, there isn't. There really is.
No? Oh, wow.
No, I like everyone. Oh, it's great.
Nah, I'm not gonna ask that one. I'm not gonna ask. Well, this one I'm gonna ask to Shiver and Nakara. Mickey, you're excluded from this.
Okay.
What is your estimate on the release of 3.0?
I've decided to turn myself into a pessimist, so I'm saying December.
Okay.
Shiver?
I was going to say March, but now that Eric said December, I'm doubting. I'm doubting heavily. Oh God, I'm having an existential
okay,
crisis. I
wanna-
don't want to
wanna
question
explain-
Space Pope.
I want to explain a little bit here. So, I was. This is not fair, to be honest, but when I read the newsletter and Chris was like, this year we're gonna get 3.0 in Squadron out, I'm like, is that it? Okay. All right.
But,
So 3.0
yeah, but
Squadron, that's all we're getting. So 3.0 December.
no. That's just, like 3.0 just means like we get 3.0. Everything that like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, that's all 3.0 because it's not 4.0. That's how I read it. I could be wrong. God, I hope I'm not wrong, but that's how I read it. We're getting 3.0 this year, and 3.0 encompasses 0.1 to whatever when we get to 4.
Okay.
Right? Oh God, please tell me that's what it means.
Well,
I honestly though, I don't think it's going to be late.
I think that is what it means because I think it would be really, really upsetting if we only had one patch this year and it was December.
In fairness, though, 3.0 is a heck of a big patch. In fairness.
True.
Can I add something?
Okay.
Of course.
Well, obviously you've seen what 3.0 will look like because we showed it at Gamescom.
Mm-hmm.
So you've seen it. You know that, it exists. I've played it.
Yeah.
I can tell you it exists.
Okay, I want to explain from our point of view. We saw it at Gamescom, and we saw a little bit of it at CitizenCon, and then we didn't see it again. Ever.
From our perspective,
We haven't had any other convention.
Oh, we've had the holiday live stream though,
And the anniversary live stream.
Yeah, but that was. Yeah.
So what you're telling us that CIG is going to an event soon. All right.
No, I'm just saying. That,
I'm not. Eric, stop reading words. No.
I said these things take time.
Yeah.
But it exists.
That's
you know
the
it
point
exists.
I was
You
going for.
can't be pessimistic when you know.
I'm
You've
thinking
seen it, it exists.
between March and May, because they both have N's in them, and I like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
It'll be whenever it's ready. It will come out. That's all we can say. Anyone can say for sure.
Yes.
With 100% certainty, when it's ready, it's going to come out. And
So-
we've got the interim patch 2.6.1 as well.
I have 3 questions here. I'm going to ask them in order. Where do I ask the question? I am confused, and I think I figured it out.
You don't get any more questions. You sum up.
If that wasn't
Like one
confused,
test.
I'm awfully disappointed in them.
So I'm going to ask the next question.
So it's okay if you actually here's another question I have to ask, because CIG works a tiny bit different than most gaming companies in that you're able to come on here and kind of talk to us about stuff. Do you know what you can't talk to us about and what you can?
I do. Well, I mean, we do a lot of the ATV stuff, so we get briefed usually in that. It used to be a bit more free range, whereas they tried to make it. Well, they've done it a bit more to a structure now, if you know what I mean. Like it's like a full production.
Yeah, the whole
before it was like
ATVs.
here's a bit from each studio.
Yeah.
And that was a bit like we got given guidelines, and it was like, don't talk about this, and just like it was basically, yeah, we're quite lax in terms of the things we can talk about.
Okay.
Um,
Then there's a question here. Have you been able to run any Q&A on player creation mechanics?
QA, not Q&A.
That's not a fair question, is it?
It is quality assurance.
That wasn't a fair question.
Character creation. Oh, I can't really talk about. I can't talk about like future stuff because we're not allowed to.
That's fine.
Good try though, wasn't it? It was a good try on that person.
It was a good try on that person. We do completely understand anytime you say I can't talk about that. We're
I
okay.
think what I can say is stuff like I think they've shown in ATV before, like the character artists over in LA working on different like characters and stuff, like for the PU. Like you said, Sandy's been sharing stuff. And,
Yeah.
Working on like they've got like hairstyles and clothing and stuff.
Speaking of what Sandy has been sharing, I've actually while we've been talking, slowly going through some of the images, such as Daymar, which is up right now, which looks gorgeous.
Well, to be fair, Daymar wasn't from Sandy.
No,
that was from the
but...
newsletter. And the Infirmary, I have to give a shout out because that was Toby Lewin posted that on ArtStation.
Yeah, the Idris Medbay looks great. There's been some work on character motion, which is up on the screen now. I don't really know what this is doing, but it looks like he's half squatting with his arms out.
Half squatting.
Half squat. The ever important half squat.
Is it the rigging one?
Yeah.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's a she, not a he. But...
Yeah, I think it's a female.
It might be.
If you look closely.
If you look closely, I don't look that close. Then there's the Cutlass rework one, of course, which the Cutlass looks bigger and meaner and angrier. And then there's some work on clothing clipping, which you honestly can't really see what's going on there because it's just a guy crawling on the ground, but he looks like he's Spider-Manning. And
yeah, but if you know what clothing clipping is, you know what it is that you're looking at.
It's also one of the most
clothing clipping for
games
reference
to deal with. There's a lot of released games that have never even bothered to try to deal with clothing clipping. It's just in there.
Have you dealt with any clothing clipping, Mickey?
I do, yeah. I can't think. Oh, it's been a while since I had to look at it, but it's to do with I can't remember the name. Can't remember the technical names, but it's something that I could fix. But again, I don't like to be given that responsibility.
Actually,
I'd rather someone like do a really good job. It's not that I don't have confidence in myself. It's just that I'm more of QA. Like QA's my.
Are there any things that you like? You get to QA and you see it and you're like, oh, I can fix that, and you go and fix it. Like, are you allowed to do that?
No, I don't. I can, but I don't. There's not many things that I trust myself to.
Okay.
No.
Bengal comes across and you're like, oh, I can fix that.
A lot of the things as well, we have like certain devs will have stuff like assigned to them, so like it'll be locked for editing anyway if it's their responsibility. So it's not like they can have people just working on something that they're working on. Like it's just so that nothing, because a lot of people working on a lot of stuff,
right?
So they can't, like, if somebody might come in and do something that affects something else. So it's like people have to work locked down a lot of the time.
I don't know if you'll be able to answer it, but it's worth a shot. Are the teams specialized in such a way that a company that's based design-wise in the UK is like, is there a MISC team, is there an Anvil team, or is it just that's an art team and they do whatever it is, whatever companies are based there?
Do you mean for the ships?
Yeah.
I believe that I think the US side do one load of ships and the EU do the other side.
Okay.
That was reflected in the live stream where they had the titles of the teams that were I'm trying to think now. Which live stream was it? It wasn't the holiday one, it was the one before, the anniversary one.
Mm-hmm.
And they had, I think they had Aegis and what was the other one?
Anvil was the other one.
Yeah, Anvil. So they are both manufacturers that are developed in each studio. So they've got the Foundry do one. I forget which is which now because I'm not a ship specialist, so I don't know.
I think Aegis is Foundry and Anvil was LA.
Yeah, so that will be where those specific things are developed. I think that's how it works anyway. But I know they are split.
Actually, that sounds correct to me. So I actually wanted to comment on something you mentioned earlier, Mickey. You were talking about how you're still, like, as a company, still building. And I just wanted to give people an idea of what that actually looks like. There are currently 56 job openings at CIG. So
is there?
Yeah. So there's still a lot of additions to make.
Well, I think
not slowing down.
In terms of any, if you're starting up a company, you don't usually no, that sounds bad. I was going to say you don't usually start with the best people, but I mean like word of mouth sort of takes a while to like people from different studios in America, like the big ones, they're hearing about this now and they're seeing the trailers for like 2.6 and Star Marine and they're like, that would be a great company to work for. So like because we're getting more stuff developed, like more talent is on board now because they can see the potential of the game. So that's what I meant by that. Not in terms of getting more staff. Obviously, they are searching for a few more if that's the vacancies thing. I don't know. I don't know how that's managed. But,
but if they needed a QA, you'd be there.
A huge win there was the whole thing with Foundry 42 Germany, right? Where they took or grabbed a bunch of devs from Crytek. That was that was the first really large scale win for CIG on that front because they got like 20 or 30 people directly from Crytek. That's awesome.
I honestly don't know.
Well, that was when Foundry 42 Germany was formed. It was they basically took like 20 or 30.
In that location.
Yeah,
possibly.
Exactly. It is exactly why they're there. Yeah, they opened up that studio and grabbed about 20 or 30 Crytek devs. And there's a lot of talent to bring on all at once to help them tear apart and reform CryEngine.
Pretty much, yeah. And yes, the Frankfurt office does rule. Here's a question: Is it easier to do Around the Verse every 3 to 4 weeks, or do you find it hard having to fill a full episode? Because you're on quite frequently, actually.
Yeah, I think we've got a sort of rotation now to sort of so that the same people don't have to do it every time it comes around. But I find it's a lot easier. I mean, we've got an actual team that sort it out now, kind of. We've got like, whereas before it was mainly produced in LA, and then we'd just have little snippets from each studio on their update. Whereas it's actually we actually do produce a video with like the updates from each dev in the studio, and it's done really well now because obviously we've got someone that writes it, and sort of it's structured. And there's like, I don't know about the dev side. It doesn't seem like their part is scripted, but like obviously the presentation part is in between. The bit that I do is usually scripted, whereas before I just had to wing it.
How do people enjoy doing that? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that not every dev is willing to get on camera in front of,
I don't know. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but I feel like the UK as a nation, we are just very timid and shy people. We don't want to be on camera. And I think that everyone in the office is just like, I don't want to do it this week. But it's just like...
There was the first time that we were short a person. We were like, hey, Shiver, you want to be on? He was like, oh, sure, right, I'll do that.
Is that exactly how he sounds?
I don't exist in Mary bloody Poppins.
But I think obviously like since stuff like YouTube and stuff and Twitch started blowing up, I feel like there are a lot more people in the UK willing to go in front of a camera and stuff. But it just seems to be we're a building full of just nerdy game people. Like we don't want cameras on us. But whereas I've done Twitch and YouTube before, so it feels a little bit more natural to me.
How is it working with a bunch of other nerds? Because at work,
like
I work for the government. And people come in and they're like, oh, my kid did this, and oh, I had to shovel the driveway today, and oh, my RV is 18 feet, but my driveway is only 16 feet, so I'm looking into a new house for a bigger driveway. And I'm like...
Little window into Eris's life there.
Yeah, You know what's really weird? Because I spend the majority of my time. Oh my god! Oh, look at the cats.
He's fine. Carry on. He does
Is he
this every week.
okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
He's fine.
it's fine.
No,
He landed on his head. It broke his fall.
Hey,
But yeah, because I spend the majority of my time with these people, and they are like family. I have like a little QA family. Then when I step out into real life and I talk to real life people, I'm just like, this is so strange. Like, I feel like I can't really structure a conversation outside of video games and anime, and I just don't feel like a complete alien talking to normal people about normal things. I just forget that there's a world outside the games industry. I just assume everybody is like that. It's really strange. It's like a proper like culture shock.
oh god. Okay, so there's a lot of questions here now.
Most of them are not useful.
Yeah, most of them we can't really answer.
There's actually one in here I could answer though.
Go ahead.
I mean, we kind of know when this is supposed to be. Someone asked, when will the FPS in the baby PU improve? That is a server problem they still have. That's Star Network.
That's
So
3.0.
it's 3.0.
Yeah, basically everything in Star Marine, like play wise, should transfer exactly over to the PU. But obviously, the PU has a lot more players, so that it is server connection rather than like it should be exactly the same. It's just the mass of people that pile into the PU. That's the difference.
Actually, there is something interesting that happened this week-ish, in that there was like aliens showing up in Elite Dangerous. Apparently, that made big
Oh,
news.
yeah.
I did hear about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was interesting because no one really knew that they were there until someone kind of encountered them.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this is exactly what I want CSG to do.
Well, that's actually the question: is like when will
Maybe they're already there.
when will that happen in?
Don't say that. They're going to spend the next year searching.
Oh god! There's going to be nonstop streamers of we're searching this quadrant and we're searching this quadrant for alien life confirmed by Mici to be in the game.
Oh no. What have I done?
I don't know. Gotta watch everything you say.
So I actually can answer this one too.
Yeah, do it.
So someone asked, when will everything but the starter package be removed from the store when the game launches? Or actually, I think the original answer years ago was like 3/4 of the way through beta, but so
You might have to ask CS a question like that. They probably know, but I don't know how much they're allowed to say.
I don't think that they would confirm anything at this point.
No, there might not even be a plan in place.
This is also.
It's been asked twice now, but Mici, did you voice Tessa from the ICC probe missions?
No. I wish I was a voice in it though. I might put that forward. I was a voice in one of the Lego games once, but I couldn't tell you what it was because they just put me in the booth and was like, say these things, and then I don't know what game I ended up in. So
One day you're going to play one of those Lego games. You're going to be like, oh my god!
Oh man.
Here's another question that actually several of us can answer, but we'll start with Mici. Have you met Chris Roberts, and what's it like?
I have. It's really bizarre because he is like this entity that goes, and everyone's like, "Stop, Chris is in the room." He is like, it's so strange, just like going to get a cup of coffee, and he's there, like making a coffee himself, and I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like I should be here. But no, it's just like working with any other person. It's bizarre.
Terrible.
Nakara, what was it like meeting Chris Roberts?
Oh, it's awesome. Not long enough. He he's obvious. I mean, even like you meet him, and it's instantly obvious how passionate he is about the game. And it was funny because I was meeting him, getting my getting his autograph, and he wanted to continue talking to me, but the guy behind him was like, "No, you got to cut it off. You got to cut it off." And he just kept talking. He just completely ignored the guy. And then they're telling me like, "You have to leave," and I'm like, "And he's still talking to me," and I'm like he seems like he really can't.
So
he loves to talk about.
I do find that when he just gets going and he can't. He just needs to get everything
out. Yep. Yeah. I actually had an interesting. So we're shortly after the holidays now, and the holidays bring all of my cousins and all of their significant others to the city. And earlier this week, I think like Tuesday or something, we went out and we went to Escape the Room, which we got out in 36 minutes and we had an hour. It was great. Anyway, one of the guys, my cousin's, I guess he's a husband now. I don't even know. Anyway, he's a military guy, and they started asking me about Star Citizen because they know that I help run Relay and that it matters a lot to me because I'm retarded. And he was like, "Well, so who makes it?" And I was like, well, it's done by Chris Roberts. And he was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Well, you probably know it." And he's like, I would never know who that might be. And I was like, "Well, he did like Lord of War and started listing." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I've watched those and they were really good and I liked them. Should I look into this?" And I was like, "Yes, you maybe you should." I don't know. It was really weird talking with someone who has no inclination with games and making him at least slightly infinitesimally interested in Star Citizen just because of Chris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I have to ask the next question.
Do it.
I can't get over it, but what will be the functionality of the toilets and showers?
Honestly, I'm hoping for something a little. I want something at minimum with what Metal Gear Solid 5 did.
What's that?
If you don't shower, like if you don't go in and clean yourself off often enough, you've got little flies buzzing around you. Like if you go on a few missions and come back and don't shower, you're dirty.
Not on your
no
ship.
atmosphere.
You should land on a planet and take your helmet off, and like flies just like buzz right to your face.
No. This actually leads into two things. There are two things that. Sorry, Mickey. I'm gonna go on a rant. I apologize.
Right.
This is going to end. If this ends with the sentence "vomit inside of your helmet," I'm not going to be impressed.
This is actually going to end with the sentence #mobile first. So three things.
Oh.
No. There's two things I want to find out more from CIG this year, and this to me is really important. This is something that I really want. I want to know this year.
You can ignore him, by the way.
You can
Feel
completely
free to
ignore me.
him.
Feel free. Everyone does. I do this every once in a while. It's what I get for running this whole shit show. One, I want more information on weapons. Right now, we've got, in Star Marine, there's very few weapons. The sniper rifle does basically no damage. The assault rifle is good, but it looks like this giant Lego construction that is huge and massive and nothing on it and does anything. Where is Star Citizen going to go as an MMO with weapons? Because weapons in an MMO matter. Equipment in an MMO matters most, and there needs to be a full gamut. There needs to be a starting pistol and an end game pistol. Like, we need a full range of equipment. We haven't seen how...
I'm going to remind you here that tuning exists. So
tuning does exist, but we still
need... It's likely we won't have like an end game pistol. It'll be who can upgrade this pistol to be the best that it can be.
I'd like to point out the starting pistol would be pointless in space because no one would hear it in a race.
What if it's on ground? We have planets, Shiver.
Well, that's different.
You're different.
That's very true.
No,
Anyway, go ahead.
I
David.
think that, knowing there need to be a lot of weapons, quite frankly. And then, crap, damn it, Shiver, you distracted me from my other point. What was I
Mobile
talking-
first.
No, mobile first was actually the third one. What we were talking about before I went on this.
Yeah.
Plenty of weapons.
Weapons
Range
and
of weapons.
tuning, and you said the sniper was.
Oh,
The
we're
sniper's
also
bad.
talking
If your
Towers
tuning in
equipment.
game is anything like your guitar tuning, you are screwed.
I don't want to tune my weapons. I want to fly into someone
Good.
else's endeavor and then be like, this is what I've got on sale. And me be like, yes, I want this one. Buy it and fly it. That's what I want.
Then do it.
Why you have an endeavor? Why don't you hire a guy
My
to
endeavor
work
is
on
for
your ship to
healing,
do that?
not for weapons
Oh,
manufacture.
okay.
Oh, okay. Hospital ship.
No, it's that's one of the things that I want to see this year is more on the longevity of the MMO portion of the game, because Star Citizen is supposed to be an MMO, and my favorite MMO of all time was Dungeons and Dragons Online, DDO, and it died very, very quickly because it didn't have longevity. It didn't have an end game, and the Star Citizen end game, and more about the mechanics that bring us to that end game, and more about the equipment that brings us to that end game, is something that I want to see more about. Hopefully, that is my wish for this year.
David, I think you're going to be a little bit perturbed, but I don't think Star Citizen is going to be structured like any other MMO out there.
I don't think it will be.
I think that there won't really be an end game or a starting game or anything else game. It'll be, this is the universe, go do. Enjoy.
But and that's what I want. Honestly, that is what I want. But even in this is the universe, go do, you can't have the Mass Effect 2 and 3 weapon structure. Mass Effect 2 and 3, you've got like 12 guns.
Max, yeah.
That does not work. If you want an MMO, there has to be equipment, right? There has to be something to go search. Equipment for ships. I know we're going to have lots of guns for ships and equipment for ships and computers and thrusters and everything, but I want to know more about...
That's why they're building out all these pipelines, though, right?
Yes.
So that they can power through thousands of items.
Yep. It's just...
Does that sound right, Mickey?
I
Or
might
are we
be
totally
imagining
off
it,
base here?
Sorry,
Aren't
Mickey.
weapons modular?
It's okay.
They
I'm
are,
listening.
but I kind of want to know whether, like, as I see it, there's kind of 2 or 3 ways that they can go with this. They're not really going the Borderlands route of randomized everything, pretty clearly.
No.
Are they going to do something like The Division, where weapons kind of repeat, but weapons have, like, there's just straight up a better weapon later? Like, you've got your arc-light pistol that's for, like, a level 1. And then you've got, like, your level 10 arc-light pistol, which, again, doesn't really work because there aren't any levels for,
No, for characters, but there are levels for weapons because you can tune them. Again, this is back to tuning.
That's what I want to hear more about. I really want
See,
to...
what I think you're going to have is, like, it might start out with, let's say, 20 or 30, but you're going to have a set of, like, base guns, and then you're going to have this profession, which is, weapons tuning, and you'll end up with these, like, ridiculously modified, like, massively modified weapons that have, like, 12 attachments to them, and, a grenade launcher strapped on the side, and, I think that's sort of the way it's going to end up going.
But then I also want to know if there's going to be more simple weapons, because the SMG right now is this giant fabricated thing with, like, it's giant, and then there's this giant scope on it, and it's just everywhere, and it's wide, and, like, are we gonna get, like, more simple wooden weapons? Like, are we gonna get something simple? I like a simple weapon.
There's a crossbow.
We haven't seen it yet.
Well, we have seen concepts of it, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm sure you can wield a screwdriver threateningly.
I apologize.
Well, they want hand-to-hand combat, right? So
Chris wants it, yeah.
So we have
Didn't they
literally-
demonstrate
Literally everyone wants an M1911 for some reason.
So
Well,
I gotta
didn't
ask,
they
I gotta
demonstrate
ask our
someone
guest
slashing
this
someone's throat in the
question now.
Homestead demo?
They did.
Yes, they did. I have to ask our guest this question now.
Yes.
Okay, Mickey.
Yes.
Star Trek, Star Wars, Firefly, Babylon 5, BSG, or other. What's your favorite?
Oh, I enjoyed Firefly, but it's been a long time since I watched it. And I like both Star Trek and Star Wars.
So you like everything.
But
Yeah.
Star Trek's better, isn't it?
I think there's something I like a bit more about Star Trek, and I don't know why. But because there's been a lot of Star Wars hype recently. I don't know, it's hard to decide at the moment. I like all the remakes of stuff that they've been doing.
Yeah.
They don't seem to disappoint so far.
I'm going to take this moment because this is how I am. Remind everybody there's a new Star Trek series in 4 months coming out. So
Ooh.
Star Trek Discovery is in 4 months. Enjoy.
That reminds me, did you hear there was progress in the Axonar case?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Yeah. A jury gets to decide it, apparently.
Oh. Well, when? That's an interesting question.
Mm.
I think that they're a little annoyed because it sounds like Star Trek Discovery is actually set exactly the same time as Axonar. So, yeah, that's interesting. Wonder how that happened. Actually, this is a really interesting question. Maybe you could throw your opinion on this one, Mickey. Should more expensive packs and ships be hidden until you have already bought a starter package from the store page?
I actually, because I don't work on that side of the game, I actually don't know what is available in the store.
No,
I just
now.
see what's already in the game.
Do you think it would be a good idea for new users of Star Citizen when they first see the store for it only to have starter packages in it and not to have like the $10,000 ships?
I think that's actually a good idea.
Is this person thinking that it sort of deters new players by seeing how much stuff actually costs?
I think that's the idea, yeah.
And also that not every ship you buy comes with the game, right? Like lots of ships don't come with the game, they're just the ship.
I don't think any other game does that. So I don't see why it's a problem.
But I don't think any other game really has
have what they want.
No other game really has this many things you can buy before launch, right? Like there's all these ships that and let's say someone shows up and they're like, "Ooh, that Carrack looks really, really cool. I'm going to buy a Carrack." I don't know if they necessarily realize that it doesn't come with the game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, but if they're labeled as starter packages, I know that much because I've seen
yeah
sort of interface on the website. But I think if they're labeled as a starter package, you automatically assume, oh, well, I've not played this game before. I must need one of those.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's necessarily to condense the variety because some people don't get it. I think if you're going to invest yourself into a game this big, you're going to research it anyway.
You'd hope so.
I'd hope.
Yeah.
There is. I mean,
if you went on there and you were like, "Whoa, all these things, I don't know what to buy," I think the first thing I'd do is Google I'm getting into Star Citizen. What should I buy? And the Reddit posts are amazing for that. There's so many I'm new to Star Citizen.
3 cheers to Reddit.
That was sort of what I did for 2 years was introduce new people to the game.
Yes.
And yeah, Reddit's the amazing place, and it's an amazing place for that. There's always somebody around willing to help.
We use Reddit a lot at work as well, so everything that gets written on there, one of us usually reads it.
Why is there sound?
So it's a good source of information for us outside of oh god, I can't remember what it's called, Spectrum, and stuff like that, and the forums on the RSI website. Reddit's our next place to go to because I feel like when people are giving their honest opinion about the game, they will censor it a bit if they're on the RSI website because they're like, I don't want to go on here and bash the game. But whereas they're a bit more honest on Reddit, so we tend to use that for feedback a lot of the time.
Kind of the bare honesty.
Mm.
Even if
Passionate
it's
honesty.
sometimes if it's a little bit a little bit more rage filled than needed, but still.
It's easy to see, like, though, when someone's just had a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, they'll rage. You can tell when someone's just raging about something for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But,
one thing I gotta give CIG huge credit for adding the new cameras in the director mode and everything, because it has totally revitalized the community. There's every day there's amazing stuff being shown off.
Now, Eric, I've actually got a question about this. My brain doesn't really work anymore, but this is actually something that I seem to remember. What?
It's because you fell off your chair.
Well, yeah. Obviously. No, I seem to remember actually a long time ago, maybe a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, them actually saying that camera work wasn't something they were going to work on for a long time, like until the game was closer to ready, because it didn't matter. And I think it actually, like, I think they might have they saw the trend and how much people were doing stuff with bulkheads, with Mr. Hazgaha's images, stuff like that. I what do you think on that? Like,
I definitely think it was community driven, absolutely, and they said as much. They said, we've seen all this amazing stuff that the community's done, and our tools are crap, frankly, and they weren't very good. I did, like, there's a bunch of screenshots that I've gone into the game to capture myself for decorating websites, and for just creating wallpapers as well, and there were times when I had to spend 45 minutes setting up a shot, and because it wasn't easy, and there were camera controls you could only use if you use the Xbox controller, and it was just like, it was weird.
I remember talking with Crush Boss, who used to do a lot of stuff, and him talking about how he had a HOTAS setup and pedals and a 360 controller, and he would use all of those and a keyboard and mouse to get the right camera angle. And it's like,
yep, and it's awesome now. It's easy to use.
Yeah. Okay. I'm tired. I get to go back and make more IKEA furniture after this.
Oh, good.
Exciting.
Oh, it
I
is.
wonder what the hell that's going to
It's
look
like
like.
an adult Lego set.
It is. And the worst thing is, I've got my adult Lego
what was
set that I'm
Meccano?
being... What? Oh, Meccano is
just
If
got the
crap.
whole-
IKEA's adult then, what does that make
They just told
Meccano?
you was adult.
Meccano is crap.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'm building my
Now
adult
you've got
Lego.
drawers made out of Meccano.
I'm building my adult Lego with IKEA, and then I'm building my adult Lego because for Christmas my girlfriend got me the X-Wing Lego thing.
It's not adult Lego, Eris. It's just Lego.
Shut up! It's an adult set.
No, if it isn't Lego Technic, it's not Lego Adult.
You suck.
That says 14 up.
Oh, 14s aren't adults. Shiver, I don't know where you
No,
live.
but up is. It says up.
Well, even a normal Lego says like 4 to 99.
What's your favourite shipping game, Mickey?
Shipping game.
Yeah.
What's your favorite shipping game? It has to be Euro
shipping
Truck
game.
Simulator.
What do you mean by
He's drunk,
shipping?
ignore him.
Is that a genre?
He's drunk, ignore him. What's your favourite Star Citizen ship that's currently in the game?
Oh, I really like. I mentioned this in the last interview that I really like the Cartoile. I love the design of it, but obviously, the new balancing stuff hasn't gone in, so it needs a little bit more firepower at the moment. So So at the moment, I think, what's my go-to? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I sort of go between maybe. I'm trying to think. I usually fly the Titan or the Saber just because they're easy to get around. It's more what's convenient for testing at the time. So it's never anything that exciting. But I like the design of the Katoa the best so far.
Okay.
So I actually want to bring this up because I think it's an interesting thing to talk about. The last question we have in our document is 3.0 the minimum viable product, or is it 4.0? I mean, no. I'm going to answer this right away because 3.0 is not even close to the minimum viable product.
Yeah.
It's, and I don't think anyone would think it would be. I actually don't think 4.0 is either. I think all of the main professions have to be in the game. The game has to run really well. All of the networking stuff has to work really well. And
we're still alpha as well. We've still got.
Exactly.
I don't know the plan, but I imagine there's beta before release.
Exactly.
Well, beta is when everything's in. Beta is when, I mean, Operation Pitchfork is supposed to happen during beta, right?
It is at the end of the beta.
Yep. My minimum.
Everyone to go suicide themselves before the end of the beta.
My minimum viable product actually is Endeavor. When the Endeavor is in and everything in the Endeavor is working.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that was the last ship. The Endeavor was the last ship to add a lot of mechanics.
Yep. And I mean, it's a lot of mechanics. The Endeavor has to do hospital stuff. It has to do. It has an observatory. It has like research.
Has weapon refinement.
It has tuning. It's farming. It's got a million things.
The
Endeavor, got a kitchen sink.
Originally, my number one ship in the game was the Reclaimer because it added something that I had never seen in games before. The whole, I'm gonna find this scrap and reclaim it and bring it, like, that was amazing. Like, exploration happens, all this happens. That is something different. You don't go and, scavenge dead bodies and bring them back.
I would like to remind people that what he did with that amazing idea that he loved with the Reclaimer was create a character who used the Reclaimer to be a serial killer by grabbing people's ships while they were in them and shoving them into the Reclaimer.
I don't know if you've read the entire Garbage Woman series, but she is not a serial killer. She is a disturbed woman looking for therapeutic
death.
It's Dr. Claw, isn't it?
It's therapy, okay?
Catch you next time, Gadget. Next time.
That's actually really good.
I know.
Were you the voice of Dr. Claw?
I wish that was Megatron.
Was it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Frank Welker. That was
I
Megatron.
did not know that. Okay, we are at the end of the show. So...
Somehow we made it.
Yeah. Mickey, is there anything else you'd like to say to everyone out there that's watching?
103 people.
Thanks for watching. No, obviously, it's awesome to have so many people support the game and everyone that helps me out while I'm hanging out on the live servers and stuff. It's really nice. So, everyone's awesome.
All right.
Shiver, what's up for you this week?
Postcards is back on. Dead Air's on. Oh god, everything's back on. So Wednesday, thebase.se. If you like alternative and extreme metal, which you probably don't, or if you like comedy that's set in a verse, then we got you covered. Well, yeah, that's true.
Nakara, we got anything to look forward to this week?
Yeah, I'm writing a piece right now that is essentially going to be basically a sort of lighthearted, high-level look at what we got in 2016, what we saw in 2016, and then a look. I always get murdered for these, but a look forward to what is coming in 2017. Probably going to be a little more pessimistic this time, so I don't get right across the goals for it. But just a general idea of what we're looking towards.
Cool. I'm gonna try and get my review of the old SciTech X56 Rhino HOTAS up and done. I wrote that months ago and just never got it onto a site, so we'll try and put that up this week. But for all of us here at Relay, Mici, thanks for showing up.
Thanks,
No
Mickey.
problem.
Can I just add in that
Yes.
we'd like to thank our original founder, the person who was originally responsible? That would be Sir Walter Relay. That was gold. I waited all day for that. Screw you all!
I'm sorry. I apologize. Good night.